what's that one where they like pop this, yeah, pop, pop, pop. There's checking mics. Uh, so far, I have had no response. Is anybody seeing me? I presume we are. Somebody please respond. I feel out here and there's nobody paying attention. Hey, Jeff. Okay. Uh, good quality sound and everything. We see ya. Okay. Can you hear me? Nobody here but us. Hey, Zioxio. Oh, Lars. I don't believe that for an instant. Okay. Good fun. Good sound. Uh, Lars says, I'm too poor to pay attention. Wow. That's just sad. So sad. Oh, and for those of you who may be wondering why I'm dressed in such natty attire today, it's getting summertime, and I found that I have a very uh, small number of light, thin fabric shirts left. So we went to the thrift store today. This is like, what was it, $2? $2.50? What were they, little one? They were 2.50 a piece. $2.50 a piece. And this shirt, this is the best it'll ever look for the rest of its life. And uh, shortly after hitting the field with it, it will look pretty ugly, just like the rest of them. Hey, Tommy. Dude, you've seen this before. You've probably seen this without a shirt on, remember? Anyhow. Yeah, only if you don't look carefully, Lars. Yeah, it's actually a little cooler. If it's a very thin fabric and light colored, it's actually cooler than running around with your uh, skin showing. But it's also better for your skin, what little I've got left. Zioxia said we went to Crystal Park on Saturday and there were a ton of mosquitoes and we didn't find any crystals. Well, that's strange. We found crystals. You might not have found any good crystals, but that would be. Um, and there was a ton of mosquitoes when we were out too. Where we were at, it was pretty mosquito-ish also. Um, a little about a week ago, but yeah, there was quite a few. Luckily, um, the by driving around in your mobile home, sometimes you have stuff you didn't think you have, which was in this case off, and we had plenty, so it was a lifesaver. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't have any. We probably would have had to come back to civilization, buy some, and head back out. It was that bad, but with it was tolerable as far as I'm concerned. I know Eva got bit a few times. Uh, the hey, Mr. Lodak. The major purpose of the trip was to A, see what condition of the mine was, and B, just do a shakedown. And for that, it was good because it brought all the mining stuff that we needed. But I'd forgotten that over the winter, when we were doing experiments at the lab, I had taken all of the salt and light salt out of the camper. And so we got out there, we didn't have any. Now, hello, illegal. For normal people, that wouldn't be an issue. But Eva's health situation, she basically doesn't drink water. She drinks electrolytically the same stuff as Gatorade. She takes light salt, puts it in water, and drinks
Cheaper
that
to
instead.
make your own. Stop buying Gatorade. It sucks rocks.
So anyhow, um, she was actually having a few issues. By day two, her electrolytes were out of whack. Not dangerously so, but unpleasantly so. And so we cut it a little bit shorter than we might have otherwise. Um, we didn't have quite a full load of ore with us. There's a new trailer that is available, and um, the boss has and everything. That's a little bigger than the one we had last year. It's also built heavier, so we could theoretically haul 60 buckets of ore instead of 40. And hello, Jorge. And when we went down there, that's right, David. That's why she just makes sure it's really cheap. How much do you put in a quart thing, there, little one?
Quart. I use a half a teaspoon. Normal is a quarter to an eighth, and one of those little containers costs $2 and has 221 servings in it.
Okay, so Eva puts in half a teaspoon per quart.
Pennies per serving.
And like that.
Unlimited flavors.
And so anyhow, on the way down there, standard procedure: check your wheel bearings on the trailer. And one of them was running hotter. Now, again, it's not a new trailer, but it's new to us. So the passenger side bearing was running hotter than I'm used to. And so I was also not reluctant to bring back a light load. We probably brought back about a ton of material. And on the way back, there was no difference in the bearing temperatures. So apparently, like that passenger one has a little tighter preload on it, maybe just a little bit tighter than it should be, but not bad. Anyhow, didn't have any problems coming back. So the next trip, assuming we have the time, because we got a lot more to do next trip besides just mining. We'll try and load it up with a full 60 buckets. Now, because of how we're handling it, first of all, when I'm mining it, I have to take the buckets and put them on the carriage. And that means picking them up and setting them down. Then Eva would hoist them up to the top. No, she does not, David. And we're looking around and stuff. Chris sent us a link that has in there about $45 from some analytic. I forget the name, but yeah. And I'm not sure, Rock. I've heard that before. I haven't tried it. I know up in Canada, you can have a lot of mosquitoes and stuff. Hello, Walt. But anyhow, so I got to pick them up and set them there, and then we hoist them to the top. Then I got to offload them out of the carriage. Then we have to send them down the high lane. Then we have to put them in the rack in the quad, haul them down the hill, stack them in the trailer. Now, all this thing, if they're really full buckets, it does two things. First of all, it's hard on the buckets. It's straining the plastic. They're not really designed to carry 50 pounds of rocks. And secondly of all, it's a strain on the geezer, especially at the beginning of the season. So we were loading them about 30, maybe 35 pounds. Yeah, that'd be nice, Lars. And just doing all that stuff. And then once we got them to the trailer, it's very easy to stack them on the trailer and then just top them off. I say it makes it easier on everything, the buckets, me, the whole 9 yards. So that's what we were doing. And at the end of the day, I just took some of the empty buckets, moved them around, put enough rocks in them to hold them down, just see how many I could fit on the trailer. And it turns out it's 60. And that's what we'll try next time. But next time, as you saw from the video, I'm about 2 feet past the bottom of the current ladder track. which is 8 feet worth of ladder track, and there's a 5 and a 3 foot section. And I have a 2, but what I'll be doing next time is taking all of that ladder track out and replacing it with a 10-foot section of ladder track. Um, and that will be permanent then. Another thing I've decided I will do in the future is I'm going to go to 4 foot and maybe 8 foot sections. You know, I'll set up a jig so that they'll be easy to make sure that everything, the spacing's just right, and this and that and the other. But that also allows me to take 20-foot sections of pipe and cut them into, 4 and 8 foot, and that allows me to have zero waste in terms of the pipe. So that'll work out just fine. I may just, in most cases, just go to straight 4 foot sections. You got a cross piece every 4 feet. You got a little cross tie, a stole, and that'll give you more flexibility going down too, to adjust to any irregularities in the situation you're dealing with. But one of the first things I'll have to do next trip, it's going to be an interesting trip. One, time for the Sierra Blaster again. That left-hand side at the bottom there, that is some tough stuff, and I'm going to try and tenderize it just a teeny bit. So plan is to put a Sierra Blaster in there and give it a pop and see what happens. Then haul the debris out, rip out the ladder track. Actually, I guess we'll have to put. Wow, that's a pain in the butt. I may just set the debris to the side, because normally, one of the first things we do is set up the head frame, and getting it set on top of the ladder track is a little pain in the butt, because it's a big thing and you got to get it fairly precisely. So just popping that corner and getting it out of the way enough to get in the new ladder track, I can probably just pop it and set the stuff out of the way. I can even drop it down the shaft, but get the new ladder track in there, get the other stuff on surface and stacked out of the way for now, and keep going. So that's going to be one interesting thing. Well, let's see. 2. Hey, Chris. Nothing terrible, Chris. Nothing, Chris. Jeez. Well, Rock, I got some right here that I'm going to show everyone in a minute. Little one, do we have? We had some. There we go. Could you put some water in this?
Mm-hmm. And you need to show off my pretty rock too.
Okay. Just go put some water in that. So anyhow, get to use the Sierra Blaster, and I will try and use my very generously donated GoPro to have it down the bottom, tied to a safety line there, and get a really good visual on that. Replace the ladder track, and we're also going to have to start doing some ground control now. Not that where I'm at is that bad, but as we go deeper, there's going to be a lot of distance from the back and the upper ribs. Yes, that was the goddess. To where we're working, or the ladder and such, and so we can't afford to have anything falling, because something this big falling 20 feet can kill you. So we're going to have to start putting in some ground support for that, and it will also be helpful to hold the ribs, give them a little more support. Hey, John, it would be best, hello, Tripping, to use rock bolts and chain link, but I don't have a big rock drill and rock bolts and all that other fun stuff. So I'm just basically going to be hanging chain link with some pins holding it in place, so that if anything comes loose, it'll tend to just hang there and such, and keep anything big enough to hurt you won't fit through the chain link. And so I got all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, it would, Lars. So here we have kryptonite. Okay.